Hey, come here. I have a question for you. Have you ever checked out ADHD tips? They're freaking brilliant. I'm serious. ADHDers have got like the lock in on productivity and never missing things and giving yourself energy. Their tips are great. Hey guys, it's Erica from America, your favorite flight attendant. Welcome to another Travel Tuesday where I react to a travel guru and add the flight attendant's perspective. But today, instead of reacting to a travel guru, I'm reacting to a guru who actually is talking about travel. And she is actually an expert on ADHD. Now, I don't know if you have ADHD or not. I don't know if I have ADHD or not. I suspect I do, but I haven't gotten a confirmation on that. All I know is that when you feel like something's wrong with you, you do what any sane person would do and you research it. And eventually, through my own research of like, why do I seem so different from the people around me? I realized that it's very possible I might have ADHD. So I did what any sane person would do and I researched it more by going to YouTube. And I started following some different content creators who specifically focus on ADHD and their journeys and their struggle that come with their particular diagnosis. And the more I watched, the more I found myself saying, me too. And that's why I suspect I have ADHD. Once I started watching all the videos, I found that a lot of the ADHDers had answers to questions that I've been looking for answers for my entire life. Like, I don't know about you, I read all these books in my life about how to be more productive, how to just do it with willpower, make a list, follow a plan, get up at 5 a.m. Yeah, none of that worked for me. Did it work for you? But you know what did work for me? ADHD tips. So I'm very excited about this one today. I hope you guys are willing to come along on this journey with me as we dive into 7 ADHD friendly travel tips. Also, by the way, guys, if you haven't been here before or you missed last Tuesday's video, I started a new program where I am giving away stuff to 2 subscribers every week on a Travel Tuesday video. In order to win it, you have to answer a question that is going to pop up somewhere in the video, and you'll know it because you'll see me with a whiteboard, and all you have to do is answer the question in the pinned comment within 24 hours of each Travel Tuesday video going live. I usually try to post them by 6 p.m., but I am an active flight attendant, and sometimes that's difficult, and a lot of times my editing software goes completely off fritz, like it did in the last video, and it took a while to like actually post that video. So I will always do my best to get a video posted by Travel Tuesday, and I will always announce the results in the Q&A Sundays. Which reminds me, if you have a question that you'd like a flight attendant to answer, make sure to put that in the regular comments below. The pinned comment is for the giveaway, and the regular comments are for Q&A. So if you guys want to know what the prize is for this video, just wait until the end because that's where I'll announce it. Anyway, let's get into this. One of the reasons that I wanted to react to ADHD tips is because I think they're brilliant. I think anybody can use them. And nothing shows that better than the short that I'm about to show you now, which was created by the content creators ADHD Love by Rich and Rox Pink. Rox is the girl. She was diagnosed with ADHD and she had started this channel to kind of explore her own diagnosis. And then her husband, Rich, which is this guy with the longer hair, he only recently got diagnosed with autism. But their whole channel has basically been about the 2 of them explaining different ADHD issues together. And I just wanted to show you guys this quick clip that says everyone is a bit ADHD, which is why I think that ADHD travel tips will totally apply to you as well.
I mean, everyone loses things.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone can be late.
Yeah, but you're forgetting something.
What?
The word constant.
What do you mean?
When was the last time you lost something?
I lost my fidget ring a couple of months ago.
And I've lost my own phone 5 times this morning. And when were you last late?
2009 for my brother's birthday party. I was 4 minutes late.
Okay, it's weird that you remember that, but for me, I'm late every single day and I hate it and I'm struggling against my concept of time and everyone thinks I'm rude and I don't care and I arrive places sweating and stressed and it's horrible.
So I think that best sums up why I wanted to react to ADHD travel tips. From the content creators I've been following who have ADHD, it seems to me that forgetting things and losing things is very common with ADHD. And it's very easy to do when you're traveling because everything you set down in a different room is not the usual place that you would put it. And so I wanted to offer my own ADHD friendly travel tips in this video today. They're travel tips that could basically help anybody. How to ADHD is one of the content creators that I watch. She does very short videos, 7 minutes and 3 seconds. When I looked up ADHD travel tips, nothing really came up, which I was like, She did this one 6 years ago, and it's had 60,000 views in that time, called 7 Tips for Your Next Vacation. So let me show you her real quick. I think she is very clever, very funny. It says, have ADHD, know someone with ADHD, want to learn more, you're in the right place. Most weeks I post a new video with tips, tricks, and insights into the ADHD brain. This channel is my ADHD toolbox, a place to keep all the strategies I've learned about having and living with ADHD. It's also grown into an amazing community of brains and hearts who support and help each other. Anyone looking to learn more about ADHD is welcome here. She has been a great resource, I think, for learning about all kinds of ADHD things. It's one of those channels I watch where I go, me too. Oh, that makes sense why I do this. And I think she's quite a bit younger than me because I don't want to get my hands on her and be like, hey, look at it the way that I look at it, because I think I got at least 10 or more years on you. I think I've kind of figured out some of the things that you're still struggling with. I always knew something was different about my brain than other people's brains. And I hadn't met a lot of people that were out about having ADHD before. Now it seems like I'm meeting them everywhere, and it's been so interesting to share tips and tricks with them. I'm going to offer my own ADHD-friendly tips to help anybody never forget anything again when traveling, or just to make traveling easier in general. She posted this June 6, 2019. Going on vacation is supposed to be relaxing, so why is it so stressful? This video is all about vacation tips from ADHD brains to make your next vacation ADHD friendly and awesome, featuring Chloe, the ADHD dog. And then there are some for links if you want to see them. I don't know what the fish song is, but I have reacted to her bullet journal before, and I'm looking forward to reacting to this.
Hi, Reed.
Back. Research has shown that vacations can increase happiness, improve relationships, decrease burnout, increase creativity and productivity, and even make it more likely that we'll get a raise. But for those of us with ADHD, they can also be incredibly stressful and overwhelming, often negating the positive effects they're supposed to provide. This is especially true when half of us don't even stop working when we're on vacation. It's really hard to turn it off. If you, like me, struggle with vacationing, here are 7 tips for creating an ADHD-friendly vacation that's fully relaxing. 1. Plan one. According to research, most of the positive effects of taking a vacation actually come from anticipating it, which means we can start getting the benefits of taking a vacation just by planning one. Bonus, planning ahead of time means there's less to stress about or realize you forgot once you're actually on vacation and it's supposed to be, relaxing. There are lots of ADHD-friendly vacation planning tips on the interwebs, but a few of my favorite actually came from you. Use an app like TripIt to automatically manage your itineraries. Create a flexible schedule for each day so that you know what to expect, but still have room to be impulsive. Obsessively research options ahead of time and accept that you won't have time to do all of them, and figure out any must-dos in advance. And of course, these are especially important for packing. Speaking of which, you can check out my video on packing tips here.
I think for people who are anxious, planning everything out ahead of time really helps. As a traveler, I fully think that it's always in your best interest to leave quite a bit of flexibility. I've played travel guide to people before when traveling with family members or friends. Generally, what I like to do is I like to take everything that people want to see on the trip and then figure out what's close to each other, and then plan a day to hit up those, but leave room. Because if you're inflexible when you travel, it's just going to increase the stress level of not only you, but all of the people around you. So give yourself a nice bubble between events and activities to just chill and enjoy the atmosphere and eat and walk around and explore before moving on to the next place.
2. Budget. It's really hard to enjoy your vacation when you're stressed out about how much food costs. Seriously, this poutine was like $10. Luckily, that was in Canadian, which is only like $7 in the US. And visiting Niagara itself is totally free. Between exchange rates, unexpected expenses, and unexpected ATM fees, it's really hard to manage money while we're on a trip, even a short one. So it's helpful to make a list of possible expenses and how we're going to pay for them before we travel. This, by the way, is why all-inclusive resorts and cruises can be really great for ADHD brains. Almost everything is paid for by the time we get there, and if we do run out of money, we still get to eat. Once you figure out how much the trip is going to cost, add like 25% to be safe. And then check out this budget tracker that one of the brains made. It's designed to make budgeting easy and to help you save up for big expenses. If it's too late for that, don't worry. It can also help you figure out how to pay off those credit cards when you get back. Celestima, thank you. This is amazing.
She was talking about budgeting. One of the reasons that I recommend taking a backpack or a purse with a cooler feature in it, like this one has the cooler, by having a cooler feature in it, one of the nice things about this is you can grab food throughout the day. And one really great way to budget and save money is to hit up grocery stores wherever you're going. I know you may be thinking, but if I'm going to Paris, I don't want to hit up grocery stores to eat. I want to hit up actual restaurants. You might be surprised to find how many great foods are in grocery stores, especially local treats. France itself has some fantastic pastries, cookies, scones, stuff like that that you can grab from the grocery store that's a lot cheaper than what you might actually get in the pastry shop. And just by loading your bag up with that knowledge, you get to experience the foods locally, which are often even fresher in the grocery stores than what you might have shipped over here. But it's going to save you a lot of money. One of the things I like to travel with this is I will take a glass dish with the lid in this. And the nice thing about that is you can put the lid underneath the glass dish when it's empty, and you can put that in the bottom of your bag. And so if you buy souvenirs or something and you run out of space, you can shove them in your cooler as your cooler empties throughout the day. So it's a great way to budget. Also, if you happen to go into a restaurant, you can order the larger meals to help you save money. And then you just pack away stuff that's in the extra glass dish that you brought. And part of the reason that I bring glass instead of plastic is because I've not yet had a glass dish break on me while traveling. But then again, keep in mind, I'm not throwing my bag around like crazy, but I usually do have a glass dish with me because it's microwavable, it's freezable. I prefer it to plastic. I've melted a lot of plastic over the years. And again, if you get like one of those headache bags with the little screw on top, those are great for if you're staying at a hotel that doesn't have a fridge and you can't freeze a gel pack. Or if you do have a fridge, bring the gel packs, freeze those up harder. It'll keep that area cooler for all day. And that's going to help you save a lot of money. Another thing that can really help you with budgeting is look for discount travel packages through Groupon. There's double-decker buses in a lot of the bigger cities that do tours. And a lot of those buses are hop on, hop off. If you go to Groupon, you can get a several-day pass to a ton of attractions in the area. And then those passes often also include one of the double-decker buses in that town, mostly for larger cities. But it's another great way to save money, reduce your stress, and hit up a bunch of places in one area.
3, manage stimulation levels. This is something fairly unique to ADHD brains. Relaxation isn't as easy as finding a beach chair and turning off our cell phones. To relax, we often need to find the right balance of stimulation. Enough that our brains don't get restless and decide to start a new project or pick a fight with the nearest sibling, but not so much that we get overwhelmed or can't chill out. The right level of stimulation is going to look different for everybody, so work with your brain. If you need to be surrounded by nature to relax, do it. If the idea of being stuck in the woods with no reception horrifies you, maybe bring a hotspot. If you've got high stimulation activities planned, make sure to also schedule some downtime. If you're in a group situation and you don't have a lot of control over what's happening, make sure you have a way to increase or decrease stimulation as needed. For example, if everyone's headed to the beach to relax, bring a freebie. And also sunglasses and earplugs, or headphones, or both.
I think that was actually a pretty good tip, like being aware of overstimulation, not only for yourself, but for the people you're traveling with. Because if the people you're traveling with are getting stressed, they're going to take it out on you, and then it's going to reduce the enjoyment of your own trip. I always say, try to leave in those buffer zones that will allow you to rest and relax. There have been times that I've taken a quick nap on a park bench in a beautiful city. Did that in Athens once. I've done that in Paris. It's such a pleasure to be able to take a nice little nap, like in a park somewhere on a warm, sunny day in a city you've never been to before. So if you leave buffers in between each activity for stuff like that, not only is it going to help your stress levels, but it's going to help other people's stress levels. And just be aware that it's okay if you need downtime, and you really need to communicate that with the people that you're with. You need to be okay with letting them go on without you. So if you feel that you're getting too tired or too worn out, just being like, hey, I'm going to kick it here. Go look at what you want to look at and come back for me. It's really nice to be able to decompress in the middle of a trip with a lot of people, because people struggle with overstimulation. I think that's excellent advice. That works for anyone. Like I said, not just ADHDers, but if you're older, if you have back pains, if you are in menopause and you fall asleep like 5 times a day, if you have babies, that kind of stuff can be very useful when traveling.
4, plan for stuff to go wrong. Things that have gone wrong on my vacations, not a complete list. I was stuck on top of the Sydney Harbor Bridge for 3 hours. I made it, but my luggage didn't, and I spent most of my trip looking for a new swimsuit. In Cancun, my flight got delayed due to maintenance issues, and I got stuck overnight in Detroit. I wore rain boots, and they were definitely not necessary. On top of unforeseen circumstances, ADHD brains tend to forget things and lose things, and our symptoms are worse when we're outside of our normal routines. So pretty much just expect something to go wrong. Consider it part of the adventure. If you're a recovering perfectionist like me, try including something goes wrong on your vacation checklist. But also, pack the important stuff like meds in your carry-on, bring extra chargers, and make sure you have cash or a credit card on hand for emergencies. Actual emergencies.
I think that was a great tip to plan for stuff to go wrong, especially at the airport. Ever since COVID, the airlines have actually shortened the connection time from an hour and a half, which is what it used to be, down to 45 minutes. And 45 minutes may sound like enough for a lot of people, but they don't realize that boarding will start 30 to 45 minutes before departure time. When you land, they're already boarding if you have a 45-minute connection time. You want at least an hour and a half because the slightest thing can delay that first flight. You never want to book for the last flight of the day because if you do, there's a very good chance you're going to misconnect and miss that last flight of the day and spend your time in the airport. If you have ADHD, if you are prone to anxiety, you can't handle stress, going with the flow is really not your thing, then try to book earlier in the day. Try to always plan for earlier in the day travel. That way, if something goes wrong, there's other options and you don't have to stress. Instead, you get to think of it as a chance to stop, take a breather, get food. And this works not only for planes, but also trains, buses, automobiles, tours, ferries, anything that you might want to do. You want to give yourself whatever buffer zone you think you need, double it just to be on the safe side. Give yourself that extra time. That way, if you do miss something, you're not freaked out. You have time to stop and smell the roses, grab something to eat, recharge, refresh, and just not end up feeling like you need a vacation from your vacation when you get home.
5. Leave to-dos behind. The whole point of taking a vacation is so we can step away from the stressors of everyday life and come back recharged, which is really hard to do if we don't actually step away from them. Of course, not doing the thing can be just as stressful as doing it if we can't get it off our minds. And coming back to a giant pile of tasks can send us hurtling right back toward burnout. So it can help to schedule absolutely nothing the day before your trip so that you have time to wrap up anything that absolutely has to get done. Then, if stuff pops up you hadn't thought about, you could put it in the parking lot, a page in your notebook or somewhere else where you can throw things you think of while you're on vacation and worry about them later. If you really don't have a choice and you have to work on your trip because, I don't know, you're making a YouTube video or keeping your Instagram updated, set some boundaries around when and where so it doesn't bleed into every activity.
My tip for this is actually very similar to what she's saying. What always cracks me up as a flight attendant is when I would fly the 145, which if you don't know, that's my favorite plane. It's the Embraer 145. It was a 50-seater plane, one flight attendant, no Wi-Fi, none. So people that got on the plane had to have either downloaded their videos ahead of time or their books or their games or whatever it was that they wanted to entertain themselves, or they had to sleep. That was probably one of the reasons that I liked it because every single day, so many people that get on the plane and they're like, I have to work this whole entire flight. I have to be on my laptop. I have to download these spreadsheets and these files. And a lot of times people would get on the plane and they'd actually be relieved that I didn't have Wi-Fi because then they could tell their boss, sorry, there was no Wi-Fi on the plane. That's becoming less common, except on these smaller planes still, it does still exist. One of the things that I like to leave behind when I travel is actually my cell phone service. I'll take my cell phone with me because I use the camera and stuff like that. Obviously, as a regional flight attendant, everywhere I go, I have phone service. But when I do travel to Canada, my phone doesn't really work in Canada. And I don't actually mind that so much. When I was in Paris, my mom bought an eSIM card for her phone, and I did not on purpose because I didn't want people to be calling me while I'm on my vacation. I think one of the best things that you can do when you're traveling on vacation is completely disconnect. Don't get an eSIM card. You can get free Wi-Fi in so many cafes all over the world. If you can't find a cafe with free Wi-Fi, look for McDonald's because all of the McDonald's have Wi-Fi. Then you could connect and you could get the information that you need. You could download maps. You could figure out where you want to go from there. That is what I would recommend for leaving things behind. And it does help you get less stressed. One of the other things I wanted to recommend when she first started talking about this is she walked into a messy house, right? And I think a lot of people, they clean their house before they leave and they think this is going to be great. I'll come back to a clean house. If that works for you, great. For me, it just stresses me out because then I'm running around at the last minute cleaning the house when I should be packing. One really, really easy tip that I have for you that is ADHD friendly is whatever bag you have, think of this bag as one load of laundry. It's all of your clothes in here, from underwear, socks, shirts, pants, jackets, whatever, are darker colors that can be done in one load of laundry. That is going to save you so much stress when you get home because all you're going to do is walk down to the laundry room and dump that suitcase into the washing machine. You're not going to have to worry about sorting it. So that is one ADHD friendly travel tip that I would recommend to help make things easier. And I've said before in other videos, I recommend that you travel with at least 4 bottoms, 4 tops, and 2 like light jackets like this. When I said that, I wasn't talking about an actual jacket to keep warm, like a winter jacket. For me, that's a puffer jacket, and I don't pack that in the bag. I keep that out of the bag. So I don't count that. But if you pack those 442 items, you can make so many outfits out of those. I think the last time I did that video, I was able to show like 50 different outfits that you can make with those pieces. And then if you still have room in your suitcase, just add more from there. But again, think of that entire suitcase as one load of laundry, and you'll save yourself so much stress and frustration when you get home.
6, communicate expectations, both with the people back home. Are you going to be reachable or not? Do they need to feed your cat? As well as anyone who's on the trip with you. If you and your travel companions are expecting different things, one of you is going to be disappointed. Even if you agree on activities, you might have different ideas of things like how long is reasonable to drive in one day. You can reduce conflict and therefore unnecessary stress by negotiating this stuff in advance.
I think communicating expectations is a very good idea. I have traveled with people before who did not communicate, and it was incredibly frustrating. And I've traveled with people who communicated with absolutely zero flexibility. And it was like, why did we choose to travel with you to begin with? It's always good to communicate because, like, I remember one time I was in Greece with my family and my friend at the time was pregnant. She wasn't traveling with the rest of us because she was pregnant. She was making up her own schedule and wasn't sticking to the schedule that we had. I didn't mind because I'm used to that when traveling with people. I'm used to being okay with them wandering off on their own. But the problem was that she wouldn't communicate with us and she wouldn't tell us that she was going to go off on her own. So there was this one day where we were in Athens where she literally went into one door on the bathroom and then came out the door of the bathroom on the other end. She just disappeared. And my uncle, who was traveling with us, was so stressed out. He was convinced that she'd been kidnapped. She showed up like an hour and a half later where we were hanging out and we had agreed to meet. But it was very frustrating for my uncle during that time, thinking that she'd been kidnapped and not knowing what to do in a different country. One lesson that I learned from traveling with a group of people is it really helps if you are the one that's planning or someone else is the one that's planning to just print out all of the hotels that you're going to stay at with all of their phone numbers and all of their addresses. So that way, if you do get separated from your party, they can take an Uber back to their hotel. And yeah, Uber's in so many countries now. It's the same app that you would use in one country that you can use in other countries. It really helps to have that because then if you get separated, like what happened with my husband and his best friend went out one night in Athens and they got separated. Crazy story, really funny. But my husband had no idea where the hotel was. He knew where it was in relationship to the one subway that we were near. So he hired an Uber to take him to the front of that subway, which is really funny because it turned out he was just around the block from that subway. And the guy charged him a lot of money for it. And then he walked from the subway back to the hotel. That was how I learned we should all have this in our wallets. And it helps to, throughout the day, make a meeting place. So then that way, if somebody does want to wander off, somebody wants to go somewhere else, just have different meeting places and times throughout the day so that there's flexibility. And then that will help also reduce some of the stress. And if they have those points throughout the day, we're going to be here at this time, we're going to be here at this time, we're going to be here at this time. Then if somebody gets lost, they know, okay, I can catch up with them later. So that's what I would do to communicate expectations to help reduce the stress.
Finally, 7, take a recovery day. Jumping right back into work when we get home significantly decreases a vacation's positive effects, as well as the odds that we'll actually empty out that suitcase. So when you get back home, take a day or two to ease back into your routines, do laundry, and get settled, even if that means taking a shorter vacation. Turns out the length of the vacation doesn't matter nearly as much as how relaxed we are when we head back into work. That's 7 tips for an ADHD-friendly vacation. I hope you found them useful. What are some vacation tips that work for you? Let us know in the comments down below or add to the pinned post on Twitter so we can expand this amazing ADHD toolbox, because none of us should have to travel alone unless we want to. Thank you to my brain board and all my Patreon brains for making visiting waterfalls and eating poutine part of the most amazing job ever. Like, subscribe, click all the things, and I will see you next episode. Stuff you can get delivered to make your life easier. Bye, brains.
I'm going to link to this video right here, the 3 tips to make packing for a trip less stressful. Since I react to all of those, 3 minutes and 29 seconds. In the meantime, let me give you a few more ADHD-friendly tips to help make your traveling less stressful. Okay, guys, so one of the best ADHD travel tips that I can give you is what I call 1, the pocket system, and 2, the open pocket system. Now, the pocket system for me means that every pocket that I have in my bag is assigned items that are particularly important that I don't want to lose. I always travel with stuff that I'm okay losing, but there are certain things that I really don't want to lose. For example, in this pocket right here, I've got my charger, I've got my slippers, I've got things like medication, I've got my travel pillow, I've got earplugs, but the things that are most important are the charger, and then usually I keep my fire stick in here, and everything else is usually in the pocket. It's not out on the counter to begin with. So there's that pocket. In this top pocket, I keep my passport. That I generally never take anything out of that. I also keep my keys in that one. In the next pocket, I will keep my toiletry bag. It goes in the corner of the bag. So even if you don't have a lot of pockets, as long as you assign stuff to different corners, it's going to help you remember it. I've also got my universal remote for all the different TVs that I have to deal with, and my tablet. Those are the 3 most important things that I keep in this pocket. And then finally, in my bigger pocket, I keep stuff like my travel sheet that I travel with. I travel with the cooling travel sheet, which really helps me to sleep better. In another corner, I have my wet items that go in the shower. And then I also carry a fuzzy pillowcase and my clothes as well. The pocket system is you assign the most important thing to each one. That's part 1. Part 2 is what I call the open pocket system. If I take something out of a pocket, I leave that pocket open until all of the items are returned to that pocket. So if I have 3 things in each pocket, all I have to do is go 1, 2, 3. Okay, all 3 things are in there. If I lose anything else, don't really care. They're dispensable. That's done. Zip it up. Once my car keys goes in this pocket, I zip it up. It doesn't open again until I'm back to my car. In this pocket, again, I'll make sure that those 3 items, including my tablet, are back in there before I zip it. So that's going to help you make sure that you don't leave behind the most important stuff by assigning them corners of your bag or pockets of your bag, and then leaving those pockets open until you're ready to leave. Okay, other than the pocket system, the other system that I use is basically like Open Pocket System 2.0. And what it really is for your hotel room. I always pick one nightstand, usually the space in front of the TV as well, and the desk to put my stuff on, because those are up high, they're easy to see. I try to pick the nightstand that's closest to the door, so that way when I'm leaving, it's easier to assess if anything fell on the ground. I try to make sure that any accessories that I have, say like a remote control, that it would be a light color skin. That includes my phone, my tablet. So that way if it falls on the carpet, it doesn't blend in. But what the Open Pocket 2.0 system would be is that when I'm ready to leave a room, I turn on all the lights wherever there is something that I would leave behind. So I put on the light at the nightstand. I will put the TV on. I will put the light on by the desk. I will put the bathroom light on. And I will also open all of the doors of the closet or whatever I might be using in that room. So when I'm ready to pack, I open all the doors that I've used. I turn on all the lights that I need. And then basically I work my way through the room. I start with the closet. I make sure that I've taken everything out of the closet. That's usually where I keep my extra socks, my shoes, my uniform hanging, my jacket. Once everything is out of there, then I close that door. And I started doing that because there was one time where I left my badge hanging in the closet because I had closed the closet door too soon and didn't realize I wasn't wearing it. Then from there, I would go to the bathroom and I would scan once everything is out of the bathroom. By then it should be in my bed. Then I turn off the light to the bathroom. Once I go over to the nightstand and take in everything that I want to take from there, because you're also going to have trash there. You want to make sure you take the stuff that you need. You flip the light off there if you're going to leave the trash on the counter. Otherwise, I usually throw the trash in the trash bin just because it's usually easier to make sure that you don't miss anything. And one of the weird things that I do is I always put the trash can on top of desk because then it's easier to reach. Every time I throw trash in the bin, I almost always miss it and then I have to bend over and pick it up. And I just don't like to bend over. I get vertigo sometimes. So I just leave the trash can on top of the desk. It makes it easier to clean up when you're going through the room. When I take the stuff in front of the TV, I turn the TV off. And I usually try to keep the light on by the door. So that way, the last light that I turn off is the light as I'm walking out the door. So that's a great way to make sure that you never miss anything when you're packing. That is what I would call the open pocket 2.0. It transcends to like lights and doors more than pockets, but it does mesh. There's also pocket 3.0, and pocket 3.0 is the pockets on my body. Before I walk through that door, I do a pocket check. Now, this may sound crazy to you, but I have a tablet, which is the size of a cell phone, and I have my cell phone, which is the size of a cell phone. And then I have my badge and I have my glasses and my watch that I have to wear every single time that I fly. I always make sure that I have something in each pocket on my pants. If all of the pants or bottoms that you take with you have front pockets, then you can stick those important items in those front pockets. And if you can, try to travel without a purse because a purse is not going to help you remember everything. But as long as you feel two things in your front pockets that are about the same size, maybe a wallet, maybe a phone, all you have to do is tap your pockets on the outside. If it feels like there's something in there, it's probably what you need. For me, I do a pinch of the lanyard to make sure that it's on my neck. I usually do a tap in the vault to see if my glasses are there because they're usually either stuck in my bro or they're on my head. And then I'll tap my wrist to make sure my watch is there. And it's a 5-point tap. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you assign something to every pocket when you travel, that's not only going to help keep stuff close, but it's going to make things a lot easier. My final tip for if you have ADHD or you just want to make travel easier for you is 1, get a cover that's a brighter color for your phone because it's easier to spot. We'll lose our keys all the time, but we never lose our phone. We notice immediately when our phone is gone and then we'll immediately try to call it. It helps if you get a lighter color that doesn't blend in with your sheets, that doesn't blend in with the carpet, and then get a removable magnet wallet for your phone when you travel. And the reason you want to do that is because you're going to put your ID in there. And you're going to put at least 1 to 2 credit cards in there. And this way, it's always going to be in your pocket. And it makes going through security a lot easier because all you have to do is pull your ID out of your phone instead of digging through a bag, digging through a passport holder, digging through all this stuff, trying to find it. It's always right there. And it comes in handy all the time when you travel, especially in shops. So those are my final ADHD-friendly travel tips to help anyone make travel easier. What are your tips? Grab your remote, guys, because it's about that time. Did you see the question in the video that popped up this week? If you didn't, go back and watch it again. Can you see the plot behind the secret pineapple that pops up throughout the video? It's just to make you give me more viewing hours. No, not really. Hopefully you did see it. If you didn't, I'm sure you could always cheat by looking in the comments below. This week's prizes that I'm going to give to 2 subscribers is you can choose either a $60 Amazon gift card. That's US dollars. So whatever your currency is for your country, it'll be 60 US dollars translated into your currency, or $50 US from PayPal or Zelle. I do more on the Amazon gift card than the PayPal Zelle because I want you guys to actually treat yourself. You know, not just use it for bills, but if you need it for bills, then there you go. Also, I've decided that each week I'm going to pick a subscriber who tends to comment a lot, who is very active in the community that is being created with this channel, and I'm going to give them a gimme pass. So here is this week's gimme pass winner. She has made a lot of comments and I see you and I appreciate you. And what the gimme pass is that means between now and the next 6 months, if you see a prize that you want, you can pick that instead of picking one of these prizes. I'm hoping that each month the prizes will get larger and larger, so you may want to hold it for the full 6 months. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and connect to her video, 3 tips to make packing for a trip less stressful. ADHD tips. It's a 3-minute and 29-second video. I hope you guys will go check her out and subscribe. She makes very short videos and they're all very fun and they're really great tips. even if you don't have ADHD. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button. Also, hit the subscribe button because these prizes are for subscribers. And hit the notification bell because you only have 24 hours from when each video goes out to enter for the prize. I will always try to pick the prize winner within 24 hours of the video going out. Since today is moving day, I don't think I'll have a video out this Friday. But I will have Sunday's Q&A out for you guys to announce who the winners are. And I will see you guys on Sunday. Ciao!